Welcome to the show, Gugu.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Congratulations on yet another show that I think is going to get a lot of people talking, as all your shows do. I feel like you have just a knack for picking really great roles in really great either limited series or shows. I mean, people loved you, in Black Mirror. San Junipero is one of people's favorite episodes. In Loki, you got some of the best reviews, which is not usual for like a superhero franchise. People go like, whatever, but people are like, you're amazing in it.
Oh,
and now here you are with this new, is it a miniseries or limited series?
It's a limited series. It's 4 episodes.
Right.
Yeah.
Where you're playing what I think many New Yorkers will relate to, somebody who has rented a place from a very creepy person.
I know. I mean, it's such a departure for David Oyelowo as well, because, I mean, I know you know him as well.
Right,
but
right.
He's, everybody knows him from Selma, Martin Luther King, and all the things that he's done. And this character of Edward really keeps you guessing because he's this minimalist architect. He's a perfectionist, and you can't quite figure out, if he's a good guy, if he's a bad guy. And, every episode, there's so many twists and turns in the story. But yeah, it's been a wonderful experience.
You know what's really going to shock some people is I was watching the clip with one of my colleagues, and then she was like, "Oh wow, she does a really great English accent." And I was thinking, I wonder how many people would think that about you and David, where they go like, wow, they're doing really fantastic English accents. Are there people who know where you're from at all? I
know, it's so funny because when I first read the script for The Girl Before, I was in the middle of filming Loki, and I'd been doing an American accent for so long. And it's a weird one. I take that as a compliment, I think, if people see you as an American and believe you so fully that even your own accent feels alien. I mean, when I did Belle, several years ago, I'd been doing an American accent sort of for about 3 years solid. In projects, and I genuinely myself thought, do I know how to act in my own accent anymore? It's just been so long that I've been doing the American thing. So, but yeah, it's nice to be able to kind of switch back and forth. And as I say, I'm flattered if people believe me as an American too.
I think people believe you in any role that you play. You received the Essence Award. Congratulations.
Thank
the Breakthrough Award. That is where you met David, right? Like, sort of not met him officially, but you asked him to present the award, and that's sort of...
Yeah, well, it's funny, actually, because me and David were both born in the same hospital. He's a bit older than me.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah. We were both born in Oxford at the John Radcliffe Hospital, a few years apart. And so there's that connection, which is sort of surreal. And then he was one of the first British actors that I met when I went to LA, and I didn't know anybody, and I was doing a TV series there. And, I met him and his family, and I just was so impressed because I was like, here's this man who's an incredibly talented theatre actor and film actor, but he's also just got such a grounded real life as well. And I was so impressed with that. And when I was nominated for or won the Essence Award, I asked him to present it to me, and he actually took me by surprise because he brought his daughter Zoe onto the stage to present it to me, which kind of took my breath away because she reminded me of this mini version of me. and it was it made me cry. It was so moving, but it was also, I mean, he's very smart like that, David, because I sort of saw myself in her, and it gave me a moment to really ground my work in a way, because I felt like now I have to choose projects that are sort of good enough for Zoe. That's the sort of, that idea of legacy and the idea of what she's looking up, seeing somebody that looks like, as much as I see a younger version of myself in her, she might see an older version of herself in me. So,
I feel like that's a lot of pressure, though.
Right, but not always. But then there's things like Loki, for example, where you go, wow, like what would my 7-year-old self be doing now, or I would be pinching myself. And so rather than seeing it as a pressure, I sort of see it as also to give myself permission to be joyful and playful as well.
You have like one of the most interesting connections with Loki as well, because Tom Hiddleston plays Loki, right? And then you went to the same drama school as him?
He was the year below me at drama school, even though I'm a bit younger than him.
You realize you almost have like a horror movie story. It's just no one's getting killed in your story, but like you're like following all the people. We were born at the same hospital. We went to the same school.
I know, like the degrees of separation.
No one's dying, but it's,
Yeah, I mean, it was really comforting, I think, especially filming Loki during 2020, to be surrounded by so many Brits. And Wumi Masaku as well, who plays B-15 in the show, was also at RADA. So it felt like a bit of a Brit reunion. And I think when the world was just so unstable, it was really comforting for all of us to be around our sort of old drama school buddies.
You're someone who's done everything. I mean, you know, a lot of people will know you from your acting. You've also been somebody who's been really closely involved, you know, with the United Nations and working around the world. I didn't know this about you until I read a little deeper into your world. So I've always known that your dad is South African, your mom is English. I always knew that your name, Gugu Mbatha-Raw, is, you know, from South Africa. But what I didn't know was that your dad had to escape South Africa because he was fighting the apartheid government, and it was actually the UN partly that helped him. I mean,
yeah, the circle of life. It's really, truly incredible, and it's a strange thing because, you know, obviously it's an incredible honor to become a Goodwill Ambassador for UNHCR. But my dad, you know, under the apartheid era, was a student activist, member of the ANC, you know, and had to flee, and it was a very difficult time for him, and he was studying, doing his medical training, and he actually, UNHCR helped him finish his medical training and, you know, and come to the UK. So when I got the call to be able to go on my first mission with the UNHCR, you know, my cousin was like, aha, you know, that is an ancestral call, you know, like that truly is an ancestral call, that it sort of brings it back. And it makes it so much more meaningful for me, you know, to know that that's part of my cultural legacy too.
Gugu, thank you so much for joining me on the show.
Thank you.
Congratulations on everything that you've done.
Thanks so much.
All right, people, all 4 episodes of The Girl Before will be available on HBO Max February 10th.